Welcome to the Fit Dad Nation podcast, forging strong fathers and raising a stronger generation. It's time to get up or shut up with your host, Steve Roy.
Hey there, guys. Steve Roy here, host of the Fit Dad Nation podcast. Welcome to the show. I do appreciate you listening. If you haven't joined one of our free groups, I encourage you to do so. We have about, 800 guys or so in our Fit Dad Basecamp private Facebook group. You can apply there, fitdadnation.com/community. We also have a private membership program called the Fit Dad Nation Inner Circle, which you can certainly check out at fdnic.com. And as always, you can reach me out on social anywhere at the Fit Dad Nation. So today I want to talk about something that is probably relevant to a lot of you, and that is the idea that you have to be tied to a gym in order to succeed with your health and fitness goals. So first off, I do want to say that I'm a big believer in gym life. I've been in gyms ever since I was, I guess, about 22 or so. I've shared that story in the past. So I actually really like gym life. I don't necessarily like all that goes with it, but the reality is a lot of people and a lot of my clients over the years don't. They just don't enjoy the gym, and even more so, they don't like strength training. They don't like lifting heavy weights. And so I will say as a caveat that I honestly believe that the best way to change your body composition obviously is through diet, but also through progressive strength training, meaning lifting heavy shit until it's no longer heavy. But with that said, it's not for everybody. So I've had many clients, many men over the years that just despised it. They didn't want to do it. And so can you stay healthy and fit without it? And the answer is yes. And so I'm going to share a couple things that may help you. Over the last few months, I haven't been training much as far as strength training, and I love strength training. I love all that goes with it. However, for various reasons, personal reasons, stress, some other things, I just haven't done it. But what I have done is spent a massive amount of time on the pickleball court. And why this is relevant is because I'm also a big believer in finding a form of exercise that works for you specifically. Now, if you haven't heard of pickleball, it's the fastest growing sport in the country. It's going to explode. Right now where I'm at, it's already growing real fast. They just built some dedicated pickleball courts. Most tennis courts in the area now are having pickleball lines painted on them. It's just everywhere. But more importantly, it's not only is it fun, competitive, but it's a great workout. It's fast-paced. The games are pretty short. You're moving laterally. You're moving quickly from side to side, swinging. You're swinging kind of a small paddle, basically at a wiffle ball, and I burn. So every time I play, typically sessions when you go to rec play are 2 and mostly 3 hours. So you're playing for 3 hours. Usually you're not playing the whole time because there's rotations. You're waiting for other teams to play their games. So oftentimes you're not playing continuously, but sometimes you are. In private games where I play a lot, I play for good 2.5, 3 hours without stopping or very little break. And it's phenomenal exercise. I burn. I don't have a watch that tracks that stuff, but I know that I'm burning a ton of calories. And the reason I know that not just because I'm sweating my ass off, but because I'm maintaining a weight of about 197 pounds. So for me, that's not particularly great. But given my lack of strength training in the gym, my diet has not been great at all for months. I probably should be about 205 pounds or more, which makes me, for me, a fat ass. Like, I just feel like a piece of shit. Now, that's not a huge difference, that 8 pounds, but for me, it's a big deal. What's keeping me down under 200 is pickleball. And for me, it's not exercise at all. I absolutely love the sport. I play competitively. I just finished a tournament playing at the 4.0 level. I'm playing another one next weekend. I'm taking lessons from a pro. It's a big part of my life, and I plan to do a lot more with this on a grander scale as I progress. And so for me, it's not exercise. It's really not. Like, I don't ever look at it like, ugh. Like, a lot of people will be like, oh, fuck, I got to go to the gym. I don't want to do, I hate burpees. I hate bench press. I hate squatting. Like, I hate leg day, whatever, right? There's always something. And when you have that in your mind, you're a lot more likely to make excuses at the last minute. You're going to come up with other things that you quote unquote have to do that don't let you actually do the workouts because really you don't want to do them. And, we as humans, in human nature, we tend to avoid things we don't like, that make us uncomfortable, that make us miserable, right? And for some of you that just flat out don't like training, you're likely going to find an excuse at some point. So the point being, find something that you actually do like doing that is good for you, that doesn't seem like a chore, right? It's just like, the old adage of find the job you love and you'll never work a day in your life. That's not necessarily true, but I do believe that in some respect. So I worked a job, you guys know this, for 11 and a half years. I was in the financial business. I really, truly disliked what I did. I felt like every day was a grind. Every day was a chore to get through 8 hours. I just couldn't wait for the weekends. I dreaded Mondays. Sunday nights were sucky because I was like, oh shit, here we go again. Another just mundane week of looking at spreadsheets and doing financial plans and just stuff I didn't want to do at all, like no interest. So when I decided to make a change and started pursuing my passions back in 2013, the end of 13, when I left the job and started working at a gym running a small functional training center, I was pursuing my passion for fitness, right? Yeah, it sucked financially and I had to bust my ass 15 hours a day to make enough money to live. But to me, it was 100%, 110% worth it. I love doing it. I truly enjoyed it. And so that's how I feel about finding a sport or an activity, whether it's rucking. Rucking is awesome. Hiking, doing OCRs, which are obstacle course races, Spartan runs, Tough Mudders, that kind of stuff. Finding a group of guys that go out and do something athletic. There's so many things. Boot camps, jiu-jitsu, running. I dare say running, although I despise it, and I think that it's not even a good exercise for the most part. Just beats the fuck out of your body. But anyway, that's just me. Find something that you love. Again, so the way I look at it is, although I'm not doing the things that I know I need to do, just like you, right? You need to be doing exercise every day. You need to be drinking a lot of water. You need to stop drinking all those sodas and beers and eating those Egg McMuffins, right? We know all that stuff, just like me. I teach the stuff. I know I should be strength training 3-4 days a week, doing my cardio, really focusing on high quality foods. I'm a big fan of a primal type of diet. I do really well with it. I have not been on a primal diet for a while. I've been eating a lot more processed garbage, sadly to admit, drinking energy drinks again and soda. So yeah, it's certainly not ideal. I've fallen into this kind of bad rut and I know that it has to change. So for me, knowing that I haven't been ready to train, I'm just doing something that I really love. I'm not sitting on my ass all the time watching Netflix and getting fat, although I probably would be getting fat if I didn't have pickleball, but I'm on the court for probably 20 hours a week. And that's a lot of calories, a lot of movement. So the way I play, it's very aggressive, very fast-paced. I swing the paddle really hard. I hit the ball hard. So I'm getting a lot of exercise in. A lot of muscle groups are moving together. Core, legs, shoulders, arms, everything's getting it. And so that's how I've been looking at it, as like I'm not failing per se, even though I'd prefer to be 20 pounds lighter at this point, but I have not made it a priority to get 20 pounds lighter. I've been content to have just an absolute blast playing a ton of pickleball. And for me, and my message to you is that's okay, right? I'm not calling anybody a failure, and nobody can call me a failure. Yeah, it's probably not great, honestly, because as a fitness coach, I need to lead by example, right? And I've shared this before, but you guys know my deal. I'm just going to be straight with you, and I'm not going to bullshit you and say, oh yeah, oh no, I've been training my ass off and blah, blah, blah. Right? A lot of guys are going to say that because that's what they're supposed to say, and they think, oh shit, I'll lose clients or I won't get any business if I'm not living exactly like I'm teaching. And that's just not my approach to business, because I'm a 51-year-old dad of 2 teenage daughters with a lot of stress and a lot of obligations, a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. A lot of struggles that they're going through that I can't share publicly. Yeah, that are shutting me down, and they have for months, right? And I've told this before, and maybe it's an excuse, but that's where I'm at. And for you guys, just look at it like, hey, you're going through life. I shared this in my podcast last week. You're going through heavy shit. It's going to happen. Ride it out, right? Get back on whenever you're ready. For me, it's been months since I've been training consistently, months since I've been eating well. That's okay. I haven't made that click. For me, it's a click. It's literally a snap of a finger, and I'd make that choice. That's it. I'm done with the junk. It's time to get better. I'm trying to get better now, and then I go all in. That's how I roll. That's how I do it. But since I'm not quite there yet, and it is coming soon, for me, staying healthy means playing a lot of pickleball and keeping consistent with it. And I feel okay with it. I feel good about it. So I want you to think about that today, guys. If you're not training, please do not feel like a failure. Like you have to be in the gym 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week. You have to be throwing weights around, or you're not ever going to hit your fitness goals. You're never going to get anywhere. It's not worth it. I don't want you to look at fitness that way, because I've seen a lot of guys do well mentally and physically, and they're not competing for bodybuilding shows. They're not getting down to single-digit body fat, but if that's not your goal, who gives a shit, right? I've had guys just do the bare minimum because they couldn't bring themselves to do more in the gym. They just hated the environment so much, so we just did other stuff, right? We'd get outside. We'd find ways to make things interesting for them or fun. And I've seen a lot of guys go off in different directions and find boxing classes, you name it. There's so many things that you can do, and that is your job. Is if you don't want to be a fat ass, just find something you love. If you like the gym, 100% behind that. I'm a huge believer in it. I'm happy to help you if you're looking for a coach, if you're looking for a program, someone to help you with accountability. Reach out to me at steve@fitdadnation.com. We'll talk about coaching. I love it. So, but with that said, you can certainly add whatever you want to it, as much exercise as you want. If you're just someone that is either in a place that you're not ready to bring yourself to full-on training mode, that's okay. But I do urge you to find something that you love. If you haven't tried pickleball, I'm just going to pitch it because it's awesome. I mean, it is. Everybody that plays it is like, holy shit, this is so much fun. And people think, oh, it's a bunch of old farts playing, and there are a lot of old folks that do play it, but at higher levels, it's strategy. It's so much fun, and it's very social, and it's fast paced. It's such a unique game. I would highly encourage you to try it, learn it. It's a little bit of a learning curve with the scoring and the rules, but once you get it, it's absolutely absolutely a blast. I'm sure there's places in your city that have free or very, very cheap, like $2 to drop in for a few hours to learn how to play. Rec centers, churches. We have a lot of stuff that happens at churches here. Just search pickleball in your area and you'll probably find some stuff. But if not, find something else that you love that's going to keep you active. Stop worrying about getting into the gym if that's just not your bag. If you're not there yet, no big deal. Again, I'd prefer, in a perfect world, that you did. That you hit. you hit the gym 3-4 days a week hard for strength training. You supplemented that with some form of conditioning work, right, to help you with excess calorie burn, your heart health, muscular endurance, those things. As a guy over 40, strength training is extremely important for lean muscle tissue maintenance, growth, extremely important, but it's not for everybody. Okay, that's the point of this whole show. Would I like you to do it 100% all the way, but it's not for everybody, and that's my point. If you're not there mentally, find something else that will get you excited, that will get you interested, that will keep you engaged and doing something every day or every other day until it's time, if that time comes, that you can go ahead and say, like, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and, join a gym. I'm going to get after it. I'm going to, put on some muscle, whatever. But at the very least, do yourself a huge favor. If you're not doing much activity, find something, start looking at different things that are offered in your area, talk to your friends, and hell, go try pickleball a couple times. But anyway, hope you guys take away something from this show. Again, really, really important to have something in your life that's helping your health that you truly enjoy to do. Absolutely, guys. That's it. We'll catch up next time.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, if you want more information, check out the Fit Dad Basecamp group on Facebook. And don't forget to stop by fitdadnation.com. Until next time, keep kicking ass and taking the next step. You can do this, Dad.